What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another New York Giants video. And in this video, I have a returning guest, the University of Georgia expert himself when it comes to Bulldogs football, Noah Deibler. Noah, how's it going tonight?
It's going pretty good, Tom. Just got back from Hawaii, as you can see. Ready to talk some Georgia, some more Georgia prospects. But I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing excellent. Love the shirt, as you just
Thank
mentioned.
you.
It's draft season. I'm exhausted. You're exhausted. I mean, we're pretty much pounding through prospects and film and getting ready for our draft shows and this and that. And tonight's prospect we're going to talk about is Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia. And I'm very excited to talk about this prospect. But, folks, before I get into that, make sure to go check us out on all of our social media platforms on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Big Blue Avenue. And make sure to go check out Noah at the Sports Box. He runs the Sweet Tea Show. You can check out their Facebook page at the Sweet Tea. Noah also does a baseball show on Sunday nights called Diamond Cutters, correct?
Yes.
So make sure to go check Noah out there. If you love all sports talk and baseball, you know where to find Noah Deibler. So, Noah, I want to talk to you about Jordan Davis because this guy has been on my mind for months on edge now. And this
Mm-hmm.
is a guy I would love to suit up in Big Blue. Um, Hands down, the best defensive tackle in this draft. 6'6", 340 pounds, mammoth size at 22 years of age. Not only was he first team All SEC, this guy finished ninth in the Heisman voting for 2021. And this guy is a perfect example of it's all about film and it's not about stats, right? He doesn't
Yes.
clog up the stat sheet with impressive numbers, but man, this guy is an absolute bull on film.
Yeah, no question, Tom. I mean, like you said, if you look at the stats, I got them up right here. 32 total tackles, 17 solo, five tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a pass deflection. Now, when you see that, decent stats, not anything that would pop off the sheet at you, but a couple things you have to remember, Tom. First of all, he's a pure nose tackle. I think if I had to make an NFL comp, how about a guy like a Vince Wilfork type player? Because he has that absolute gigantic body size. But another thing you have to remember, Tom, and this is both a positive and a negative when you're looking at his stats. He doesn't get a lot of snaps. He played maybe 45% of his snaps last season at UGA because he's such a big guy. So I think, when he's transitioning to NFL, first of all, on a pure play-by-play basis, he's one of the top players in this draft easily. The reason he's, kind of great as a mid-round guy is because he doesn't play all those snaps. He has conditioning problems. Like you said, he's a massive guy, 6'6", 341 weighed in at the combine. So I think as he goes to the next level, he needs to get that conditioning up because, we're going to look at some clips, but, I'll just bring up an example. The SEC championship game, he was getting absolutely gassed when Alabama started going no huddle. And, the offensive line was basically having their way with him because he was out there for way too long and he was dead tired. That's not going to cut it at the next level, Tom, as a first-round pick. That might cut it, playing a decent amount, 40-50% snaps if you're a mid-round or late-round pick. But when you get taken in the first round, these guys are expecting a superstar-level defensive player that can play, the majority of the game. So I think as he goes to the next level, whether it's he wants to lose weight or, he needs a conditioning plan from the trainers, he's definitely got to address his lack of stamina. But when he's on the field, Tom, I mean, this guy's an absolute wrecking ball. He's an incredible player.
He is, and he played all 4 years at Georgia, a team captain this year. And in 2020, he only played 7 games, which was concerning. But this past season, he played in all 14, 5
Mm-hmm.
tackles for loss, a pair of sacks, in addition to 32 stops. I mean, and you look at his combine stats, Noah. This guy ran a 4.78 40-yard.
At
That
his
was
size,
faster than Patrick Mahomes.
that's ridiculous. At how big he is, 341 pounds, which, as a defensive tackle or nose tackle, wherever they want to play him, maybe that won't factor in too much the speed, but that's still something you got to look at. I mean, I think that shows he has some sneaky athleticism. A 4.78, overall it's nothing special, but for a guy that big, that's incredible. The guy's an absolute athletic freak. Like I said, if he can just get that stamina figured out, man, he has all the tools to be a fantastic tackle at the next level.
32-inch vert. But the real
Hmm.
strength of this guy, I mean, his most dominant trait, in my opinion, from what I've seen and researched, is his not only his rare size, but his run stuffing ability. He's
Yeah.
primarily a bull rusher, and I think even when he doesn't make the play on the running back or the quarterback, whoever it is, he frequently commands double teams, which I think is huge. From what I've seen, typically lines up at the three tech position, but he can also play the one tech as well. You mentioned Vince Wilfork before. I also think of guys like Haloti Nata, who was a gem
Yes.
for the Ravens for several years. But as you mentioned, there are questions about his ability to stay on the field. I do think, and you could let me know if you agree or disagree on this or not, but I
Hmm.
do think there are occasional leverage issues when it comes to Jordan Davis, not just due to his weight, but his height. He's 6'6" tall. He needs to improve with that first step. His knee bend is a little bit inconsistent, in my
Hmm.
opinion, and he has a very low ability to change direction due to his high center of gravity.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you on this one, Tom. I think a lot of his play, he has a flawed technique, but a lot of his play is just based on pure raw strength. Like, there's not many guys that are going to be able to block a guy that is this big. But like I said in that SEC championship game, when someone was able to do that, he did really struggle in that game. So I think as he gets to the next level, and if he does go to say a mid-round, first-round, grade, and he goes to a team that's halfway decent, gets some good coaching in, they can work on that with him. What you can't teach Tom is a guy that's 6'6", 340, and can still run that fast. So, but yeah, I completely agree. I think he has that kind of Will Fork, Haloti Nada type body frame. You're not going to draft this guy and expect him to be like a once in a generation, like an Aaron Donald that can go all over the line and do a bit of everything. He's a pure nose tackle. Another guy I'd bring up, maybe think a guy like a Dontari Poe, except I think he'll be way better than Dontari Poe was.
You would hope. I mean, I think he's definitely the prized defensive tackle in this draft. If the Giants are going to select this guy, they're going to have to trade back from either 5 or 7. I think
Mm,
Davis is not a top 10 pick. I think
no.
he falls not too far outside the top 10. We've talked about teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Los Angeles Chargers, two teams that could potentially be looking at him. But Noah, let's dive into some film on this guy. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle out of the University of Georgia. And now I'm going to share my screen, and Noah and I are going to chop this one up like chopping wood. Um, so this first play here, it's against Clemson, and this is a sack on the quarterback. And we'll kind of break down this play, but this is just a very impressive play by Jordan Davis, and we'll kind of let the play develop here and show you how he gets to the quarterback. Now, I believe he wears number 99. He's lined up right here,
Hmm.
and the ability to fight through the blocker and still get to the quarterback. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, no, and one thing I noticed about this play, Tom, looking at it real quick, he initially fights off the center, but if you look real quick as he's breaking through, the right guard, number 56, tries to get a bit of a little bit of a block on him. He just can't do it. That's that, underrated athleticism we're mentioning. And then one-on-one fight with number 65, just no chance. And poor DJ never had a chance there.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. It's just good athleticism and strength by Jordan Davis to fight through that double team. Here is a game against UAB,
Oh,
University of
yes.
Alabama, Birmingham, and I'm sure you remember this play, a huge tackle for loss. I mean, I really like this play by Jordan Davis, and we'll let it develop.
Yeah, I felt so bad for this running back on this one, Tom. The poor UAB Blazers, unfortunately, their flame went out real quick in this one. Got absolutely boat raced. But yeah, I mean, he just breaks. I mean, you see there, Tom, multiple guys blocking him, and it's just, no contest. The rest of the line helps as well. But that poor running back, if he gets you in his arms, you're not going down because he's a surprisingly good tackle once, he gets a good tackle once he gets his arms on you.
And if he can't get there at the first level, he's allowing guys like N'Kobe Dean and Adam
Hmm.
Anderson to eat up backs at that second level. And here's another play, tackle for loss against Auburn. And again, this is a situation. It's like, how the heck are you going to block this guy? I mean, this is just um, unfair for Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, just a little standard toss play. And, like we said, Tom, the underrated athleticism. Once he wins off his block, um, I mean, he's able to, get to him before he's able to get to the edge. Because if you look at the rest of the line, Tom, the blocks aren't half bad. If that running back gets outside, I don't know if those guys would be able to get there. They had the block set up like you're showing right there. But Jordan Davis, he's able to recover, lean for him and get a really solid tackle on a play that actually was pretty well designed, in my opinion.
It was well designed. I mean, you see the lead blockers are already pulling ahead. Unfortunately, they didn't account for the big man in the middle of the trenches right there. And here's a safety against South Carolina, I think this is. And I'm sure you remember this play against those Gamecocks.
Yeah, no, the Gamecocks got absolutely shoved in this game. And as you see right here, the poor quarterback, just nobody open. And eventually, if you have to wait 2 or 3 seconds against this defensive line, eventually someone's going to win. And as we see, we see on this play right here, Jordan Davis just instantly wins at the line of scrimmage, is able to shed the block as well with a little, bit of a move there, Tom. And poor quarterback just stood no chance there. About 3 guys on him.
Yeah, that was an outstanding play. And here is a tackle against KJ Jefferson, I believe, Arkansas's quarterback at the line of scrimmage. This is a mobile quarterback.
Very mobile.
Mm-hmm. And they're in the red zone, too. You see they're at the 20-yard line, and this is danger zone for that Georgia Bulldogs defense, a defense that did not give up many points all year long. I couldn't recall how many times an opponent was inside the Georgia 20 outside of the college football playoffs. So, I mean, again, this is just another textbook good use of leverage and being well aware.
Yeah, no, Tom, and this was again against a team at the time, an undefeated Arkansas team, just had beaten Texas A&M in a big game the week before, I believe it was. Offense, very centered about vertical passing and running. But as you said here, KJ Jefferson, very mobile guy, but once he run, you see Nakobe Dean there as well, getting in on the tackle. But Jordan Davis, great play against a guy, like you said, Tom, very athletic player.
And now here's a 3rd and long formation against Kentucky, and I think this is Will Levis, their quarterback. And you see Georgia has 5 guys down, 4 guys with their hand in the dirt, and then an edge rusher on the far side there. And it looks like Kentucky they have 8 guys on the line. So this is 8 against 5 right here. And Davis somehow beats 2 blockers and makes this tackle in the backfield. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing with that, Tommy, that's not even a bull rush. That's just a really quick step at the line, just instantly steps between 2 guys. And like you said, massive numerical advantage there. 7 or 8 guys on the line versus 5, and they get stuff for tackle for lost time. They don't even get back to the line of scrimmage. So, that's what that defense. Oh, I'm really excited to see these highlights, Tom. This is where it gets interesting.
This is where it gets very interesting. So we have 4 more plays, and they're all plays from the college football playoff. 3 of them are against Alabama. So this is a nice tackle for loss again. I mean, I know we're showing a lot of the same stuff, but I mean, to do this against Alabama, arguably top 2 team in the nation this year is just incredible. And you see here Jordan Davis in the middle of the formation again. He's going up against Alabama linemen. Really good linemen, future NFL starters.
Elite. Yes, top of the class. And even in a game, like I said, Tom, where I didn't think he had his best game, gets gashed, he's still able to make plays like that. I mean, Brian Robinson here, very solid running back for Alabama last year, on a very potent offense as well. But, I mean, he just instantly wins once again. And once he gets his hands on him, like I said, very good tackler there, stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I feel like he's really good with his hands too. I know he mentioned
he has big hands. Yeah, no, Tom. At the combine, not to interrupt you, 34 inches arm length, which for a guy that big, I mean, that's not bad at all.
We did mention I don't know if we mentioned it, but some people are saying inconsistent hand placement. I think that's a little bit of tomfoolery, if you ask me. I think they're really just trying to nitpick these prospects. And again, another tackle for loss against Michigan. Really good team that runs the rock very well. And 77's trying to put up with them here. You could see him, and this is no chance. And that's a small, speedy running back. He has to chase down in the backfield.
Yeah, no, Tom, that's a Michigan team very focused on running the football. We saw what they did to that Ohio State defense, for example. But a little stretch play here, a decent play call once again. Unfortunately, number 77, he just gets completely turned around. But there's the athleticism again, Tom. It's not like every play he's blowing up is, just a halfback dive up the middle. We've seen him do well in a halfback toss and now, a little bit of a stretch play. So that's where that underrated speed and athleticism will come to effect at the next level.
Absolutely. And now here is the sack on Bryce Young, which I
Oh
know
my
you're
God.
dying to watch.
This is one of my favorite plays of all time, Tom. This is when a grown man really started to cry because this is one of the biggest moments of the game. I believe it was in the fourth quarter, if I remember right. Alabama was trying to, go back down and take the lead again. And Jordan Davis with one of the clutchest plays I have ever seen against, like you said, Tom, absolutely loaded offensive line with NFL talent across the board. Up against the center here. And he does, once again, Tom, just a little move. It's not even a bull rush. He has underrated athleticism, as we've said a few times. Gets a sack against a guy in Bryce Young as well, Tom. Very mobile quarterback. He's not exactly one that's going to necessarily look to run, but he can when he wants to. So, good wrap-up tackle against a guy that, is very elusive at breaking sacks.
And here's one more play here. This is a draw play to Robinson. And Jordan Davis is lined up right here. I mean, this is just hysterically good.
Yeah, you don't want to run a draw play in Jordan Davis's direction, Tom, and you're not going to usually have very good results. Don't get me wrong, the lineman tries his best here, but as you can see, Jordan Davis is just so absolutely massive. I mean, once he breaks free and he's got you in the backfield, it does help that, there's two other guys there, including Nolan Smith, number 4, in the vicinity. But, yeah, I mean, couple of great plays, Tom, from, a very close game. As you saw there briefly, the score 19-18. They needed all these plays, basically, to hold on.
Look at where he starts this play. He doesn't win the initial point of contact. He's backed up about 1.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So, and here's Devontae Wyatt trying to make a play. He
misses.
He gets a hand of him, but
he slows him down a little bit at least. But yeah, Tom, he doesn't win at the initial point of contact, but that second effort there, we'll see it once again. Like you said, Wyatt gets a bit of a piece of him, slows him down. And this is the thing they always said about the Georgia defense last year, Tom, that, that team mentality. Everyone has the nose for the football. So even if Wyatt doesn't bring him down initially, he slows Robinson down enough to where, there's 3 guys right here that are already, winning their matchup or close to running back. And I mean, doesn't matter how good a running back you are. I mean, I don't even think Derrick Henry would win a 3v1 against 3 guys on him in the backfield. So that's Jordan Davis, Tom. Like I said, fantastic player, snap-by-snap basis. I just hope he can work on the stamina and conditioning a bit because, like I said, you don't want to draft a first-round pick and him only play, 50% of the snaps at max. But, yeah, I got a lot of love for Jordan Davis. He had some absolutely massive plays all season, including the championship game. When it mattered the most. So, yep, that's been Jordan Davis. And I got to tell you, any Giants fans watching, if the Giants did trade back and take him, which I don't know if they will, because let's be honest, Tom, 5 and 7, those are 2 really good positions. But if they did and they took Jordan Davis, I have no doubt that he would succeed with Big Blue.
Absolutely. A franchise known for notoriously drafting good defensive tackles and letting them walk. Dalvin Tomlinson, Barry Cofield, Linval Joseph, Cornelius Griffin. I mean, the list goes on. The Giants have done it time and time again. But Jordan Davis, if the Giants trade back, he could be a potential option in the middle of the first round and fill a gaping hole because the Giants let Austin Johnson walk in free agency and they did not bring back Danny Shelton. 2 clear downgrades last year after letting Dalvin Tomlinson go. So defensive tackle is a huge need on the Giants defense. Folks, quick shout out to our partner BetUS. You can sign up with their promo code below if you enjoy live and fast betting. I highly recommend. Join 125, get a 125% sign up bonus worth up to $2,500. You can bet on the go anywhere, every time. That is America's #1 favorite sportsbook, BetUS, where the game begins. Noah, I want to thank you very much for joining me here to talk about Jordan Davis. We have one more coming up on the Kobe Dean. So I hope y'all are ready for that one.
That's probably going to be my favorite, Tom. Even my favorite play all season against Michigan. You know which one I'm talking about. But thank you very much for having me again, Tom. This was an absolute blast. Always love talking football with you and all the other sports. And let's go Dogs, man. Some great players in the draft this year.
Noah, appreciate you informing the Giants fans on how good these Georgia Bulldogs defensive players are. I mean, Giants fans already know. We have a lot of dogs on our defense. So,
Yep.
folks, without further ado, let's go Big Blue.